Some horror games don't just scare you while you play, they stay in your head long after you turn the game off. The silence, the sounds, the feeling that something is always watching you. These are the kind of games that mess with your mind. If you're ready for horror that truly sticks with you, these are the games that will haunt you. Days Gone is an open-world survival action game set in a brutal post-apocalyptic world overrun by freakers. You play as Deacon St. John, a drifter and biker just trying to survive while searching for meaning in a world that's already fallen apart. Gameplay mixes exploration, shooting, stealth, and resource management. Ammo and supplies are limited, so every fight matters. The motorcycle isn't just transportation, it's your lifeline. You need to maintain it, upgrade it, and protect it if you want to survive long journeys through dangerous territory. At its core, Days Gone is about survival, loss, and endurance. It's not just about killing enemies, it's about staying alive in a world that constantly tries to break you, making every hard-earned victory feel personal and intense.
For mass burial. These grave sites are now feeding grounds for freakers, making for some deadly rides and intense horde fights. Weather, harsh and unpredictable. In the northern Cascade region, heavy rain will muddy up those windy trails. Snow in the mountains and foothills will make the freakers even stronger and more dangerous. With 6 regions filled with abandoned Nero checkpoints, survivor camps, choked off tunnels, explore the world of Days Gone at your peril.
Don't you want to be reunited with the people you lost? Our homecoming will be truly divine.
There's still a way out for us. But we don't have much time.
Dead Space Remake is a science fiction survival horror game that will plunge you into pure, terrifying isolation and test your courage. You play as Isaac Clarke, an engineer trapped on the USG Ishimura, a massive spaceship overrun by horrifying creatures called necromorphs. Combat isn't about spraying bullets, it's about precision. You have to strategically dismember enemies, cutting off limbs to stop them, which keeps every fight tense and panic-filled. Limited ammo and constant threats make even small encounters feel dangerous. Dead Space Remake stays true to the original while upgrading everything: visuals, sound, and immersion. It's a masterclass in survival horror that keeps you on edge from start to finish and absolutely earns its reputation as a modern horror classic. Silent Hill F is a fresh take on the Silent Hill series, shifting the horror to 1960s rural Japan. Instead of the usual foggy American town, you're dropped into a quiet village that slowly becomes twisted, disturbing, and deeply unsettling as strange events unfold. Combat takes a more grounded approach. You're vulnerable, resources are limited, and survival depends on smart decisions rather than power. Exploration and puzzle solving play a big role, pushing you to pay attention to details and piece together the story yourself. Silent Hill F stands out because it reimagines what Silent Hill can be without losing its soul. It leans heavily into atmosphere, emotional horror, and slow-burning tension, creating an experience that feels strange, haunting, and hard to forget. Little Nightmares 2 is a dark and unsettling horror adventure that feels like stepping into a twisted nightmare. You play as Mono, a small boy trapped in a broken world filled with disturbing environments, strange figures, and a constant sense of danger. Gameplay focuses on platforming, puzzles, and stealth. You'll sneak past enemies, solve environmental puzzles, and time your movements carefully to survive. Mistakes are punished quickly, which keeps tension high and forces you to stay alert at all times. What makes Little Nightmares 2 special is its atmosphere and storytelling. The game barely uses words, relying on visuals, sound design, and symbolism to tell its story. It's creepy, emotional, and unforgettable, leaving you with a lingering sense of unease long after the credits roll. The Sinking City is a dark detective horror game set in the flooded city of Oakmont, a place slowly collapsing under supernatural forces. You play as a private investigator searching for the truth behind disturbing visions and a creeping madness that affects everyone in the city. Combat exists, but it's not the main focus. Resources are limited, enemies are dangerous, and fighting often feels tense rather than empowering. You're encouraged to choose your battles carefully, which adds to the feeling of vulnerability. What really sets the Sinking City apart is its Lovecraftian tone. The city feels alive in a disturbing way, filled with paranoia and moral gray areas. It's a slow-burn horror experience that rewards patience, curiosity, and players who enjoy mystery mixed with psychological dread. Dying Light: The Beast takes the survival horror feel of the series and makes it darker and more intense. You're thrown into a dangerous open world where staying alive isn't easy, and every choice can mean the difference between escape and death. Combat is fast and brutal. Melee weapons feel risky but powerful, while guns are useful but hard to rely on because ammo is limited. Every fight forces you to think quickly. Sometimes it's better to fight, other times running away is the smarter move. What really makes Dying Light: The Beast stand out is its atmosphere. It leans more into horror, making the world feel cruel and unpredictable. It's not just about killing zombies, it's about surviving fear and pushing through a world that's constantly trying to break you.
Saved me. The one who pulled me out was Jade. If it wasn't for her, and the others at the tower, I'd be just another undead freak wandering the streets. And then there was Spike. He was like a brother to me. Turned out Haran wasn't what the media was selling us. The GRE had dropped me into the middle of a nightmare. The virus had ripped through the city, turning people into monsters. But the biggest monster of all was Rice. A warlord who ruled the city with an iron fucking fist. He was the one who stole that secret file. Turns out the GRE weren't the humanitarian agency they pretended to be. They didn't want a cure. They wanted a weapon. I managed to stop them, but in the process, I lost everyone I cared about.
Chronos The New Dawn is a sci-fi survival horror game that blends time travel with psychological tension. You play as a traveler sent between two timelines, a ruined future and a collapsing past, where every action can affect what the world becomes. Combat is slow, heavy, and deliberate. Enemies are disturbing and unpredictable, forcing you to manage limited resources and choose when to fight or avoid danger. Ammo and supplies are never guaranteed, so every encounter feels risky and stressful, rather than empowering. What makes Chronos The New Dawn stand out is its mood. It leans hard into dread, isolation, and mystery, using time as both a mechanic and a narrative tool. It's a game that doesn't rush you, letting fear build naturally while pulling you deeper into its dark, haunting world. The Bridge Curse 2 is a first-person survival horror game inspired by Asian urban legends and campus ghost stories. Set inside a dark, abandoned university, the game drops you into a place where every hallway, classroom, and shadow feels threatening. Gameplay focuses more on stealth and survival than combat. You're often powerless, forced to hide, run, or outsmart terrifying spirits instead of fighting them. Managing stamina, using tools at the right moment, and staying quiet are key to staying alive, which keeps the pressure high at all times. What makes The Bridge Curse 2 stand out is its cultural horror. The scares rely less on cheap jump scares and more on atmosphere, sound design, and slow-building fear. It's tense, eerie, and perfect for players who enjoy story-driven horror that creeps under your skin and stays there.
60.
Oh, lucky you. I know everything there is to know about Wenhua University. If it's before midnight, they can do whatever the hell they want.
No. No! I've got to get out of here.
Hey, who the hell's down here?
Hello? Hello? She wants to eat me! There's blood everywhere! I'm up at Wenhua University. I saw a ghost. What the hell happened here?
You are mine.
Tormented Souls is a classic survival horror game that takes heavy inspiration from old-school titles like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. You play as Caroline Walker, who wakes up alone inside a creepy, abandoned mansion turned hospital, with no clear memory of how she got there. Gameplay focuses on fixed camera angles, limited resources, and puzzle solving. Combat is slow and risky, forcing you to think carefully before engaging enemies. Ammo and healing items are scarce, so every encounter becomes a tense decision rather than a mindless fight. Tormented Souls stands out because it fully commits to classic horror design. It doesn't rush you, doesn't hold your hand, and dread. With its dark visuals and haunting sound design, it delivers a survival horror experience that feels intense and genuinely frightening.
Can I just say how very happy I am to finally have you with us? Isabella has told us all about you, especially you, little one.
Anna's been through a lot.
We can help her with that. Soon, she will fear nothing.
they do to me?
Anna? Anna?
God, she's dead.
Amnesia Rebirth is a psychological horror game that leans more on atmosphere and story than pure action. You play as Tassi Trianon, who wakes up alone in the desert after a plane crash, with no clear memory of what happened. The gameplay focuses on survival, not fighting. You can't attack enemies, so your only choices are to hide, run, or avoid danger. Staying in the dark for too long affects your sanity, so managing light and knowing when to move or stay still becomes really important. What makes Amnesia Rebirth stand out is its emotional and psychological horror. It doesn't rely on constant jump scares. Instead, it creates fear through sound, atmosphere, and a personal story that sticks with you long after you stop playing. Madison is a first-person psychological horror game that focuses heavily on atmosphere and mind games. You play as Luca, a young man trapped inside a disturbing house connected to a dark ritual. Using a strange, instant camera, you're forced to uncover secrets that blur the line between reality and hallucination. Gameplay is slow and tense, with no combat at all. Your main tools are observation, exploration, and puzzle solving. The camera plays a big role, letting you reveal hidden messages and interact with the environment in unsettling ways. What makes Madison stand out is how personal and relentless the horror feels. It relies on psychological pressure, disturbing imagery, and a heavy atmosphere instead of action. The game messes with your head, making it an intense horror experience that sticks with you long after you turn it off.
We found a new owner, which is fine. We found a new...
Resident Evil 2 Remake puts you right in the middle of a city that has completely fallen apart. You play as Leon Kennedy, or Claire Redfield, trying to survive a zombie outbreak while trapped inside the Raccoon City Police Department. The gameplay is all about survival. Ammo and healing items are limited, so you can't just shoot everything you see. Combat feels slow and tense, and sometimes the best choice is to avoid enemies instead of fighting them. Zombies are tough, and every encounter can drain your resources fast. What really makes Resident Evil 2 Remake special is its atmosphere. The lighting, sounds, and enemy design work together to keep you on edge the whole time. It mixes classic survival horror with modern visuals, creating a scary and memorable experience that stays intense until the very end.
This to happen.
Dr. Birkin, you'll come along with us quietly.
I'm not handing over anything! You don't get away that easily.
The whole place is coming down.
Hand over the sample.
It'll be all over soon.
You don't know what you're up against.
I have a pretty damn good idea.
Claire, get out. Get out now!
The Evil Within 2 throws you back into a twisted world where reality constantly breaks apart. You play as Sebastian Castellanos, diving into a nightmare city called Union to find your missing daughter. From the start, the atmosphere feels unstable and unsettling, making every step feel risky. Gameplay mixes survival horror with more open exploration. You have limited ammo and resources, so choosing when to fight or sneak past enemies really matters. Combat feels tense, especially when enemies appear suddenly or chase you through tight spaces, forcing quick decisions under pressure. What makes The Evil Within 2 stand out is its balance between horror and freedom. It keeps the fear alive while giving players more control over how they survive. With its creepy world and disturbing enemies, it delivers a horror experience that feels intense and hard to forget.
I'm sorry, but you just don't say no to them. Mobius needs you now. And if you accept our offer, you'll get something in return. This isn't going to be easy, but... long before we met, you lost your daughter, Lily. I know you'll find this hard to believe, but... she's still alive. We staged her death. We used her mind to create another STEM system. And now she's trapped inside it. Lily needs you. This is your chance to save her. To get back what you lost. But in order to do that, you're gonna need to go back into STEM. Again.
The Outlast Trials drops you into brutal psychological experiments where survival depends on how well you handle fear and pressure. You're thrown into disturbing environments filled with violence, madness, and constant danger, where the goal isn't to fight back, but to endure and escape. Gameplay focuses on stealth, teamwork, and smart decision-making. You have to hide, run, distract enemies, and use limited tools to survive. Every mistake can cost you, and panic often makes things worse, keeping the tension high at all times. The Outlast Trials leans hard into horror and pressure. It's disturbing, stressful, and designed to push players mentally. The constant fear, brutal atmosphere, and relentless pacing make it a horror experience that feels intense from start to finish.
You'll be reborn. For what I want to create, I need somebody who's not going to be missed when they vanish. I need somebody who knows they deserve to suffer. I need somebody who can withstand anything. I need a nobody. But what I got...
The Devil in Me drops you into a chilling environment where every decision could cost you your life. You play as a character trapped in a mysterious, dangerous scenario, and survival depends on your ability to stay calm, think fast, and navigate the horrors around you. Gameplay focuses on stealth, exploration, and making smart choices under pressure. You can't just rush in. Every encounter requires observation, timing, and careful planning. Tools and resources are limited, so using them wisely is key to staying alive. The Devil in Me stands out for its atmosphere and psychological horror. It's immersive, relentless, and designed to test your nerves. Every moment feels dangerous, making it a horror experience that sticks with you long after you stop playing.
Rich, he's a recluse, he's obsessed with H.H. Holmes. Totally sane, I'm sure.
Some of the rooms are full recreations from the murder castle.
Guys, is that you?
There's a shit ton of killer footage to be had here.
My time is at a premium. We need to do this today.
What the f*** is this?
Oh my god. You're shitting me. Are you shooting any of this? No one is gonna believe it without proof. Wait, no! What the hell?
Someone, please!
What happened?
What the?
Go!
What is this?
It's a fucking booby trap.
The Mortuary Assistant puts you in the shoes of someone working in a creepy mortuary where things are far from normal. Strange occurrences, eerie sounds, and unsettling events make every shift tense and unpredictable. Gameplay focuses on investigation, interaction, and staying composed under pressure. You handle bodies, follow procedures, and uncover mysteries, but the supernatural elements keep you constantly on edge. Quick thinking and careful observation are key to surviving the night. The Mortuary Assistant excels in creating a slow-burning horror experience. Its combination of realism, mystery, and supernatural dread keeps players immersed, making every session tense, memorable, and hard to put down. The Last of Us Part 1 drops you into a post-apocalyptic world where survival isn't guaranteed. You follow Joel and Ellie as they navigate ruined cities, dangerous humans, and infected creatures, making every moment tense and emotionally charged. Gameplay balances exploration, stealth, and combat. Resources are limited, so every choice matters, whether sneaking past enemies, crafting tools, or engaging in firefights. Every encounter pushes you to think strategically rather than rush in. The Last of Us Part 1 stands out for its storytelling and emotional depth. Its gripping narrative, memorable characters, and intense survival gameplay create an experience that stays with you long after the game ends.
Is the outside?
So is that everything you hoped for?
Can't be any worse out there. Can it?
Once upon a time, I had somebody that I cared about. And in this world, that's good for one thing. Get you killed.
I can take care of myself.
How many close calls have we had?
I get in trouble down there. You make every shot count.
I got this.
Hope you know how to use that thing.
I've had some
The Quarry drops you into a tense horror story where a summer camp night turns deadly. You follow a group of counselors trying to survive mysterious threats, with every decision shaping what happens next. The atmosphere keeps you on edge from the start. Gameplay emphasizes choice and quick thinking. You manage multiple characters, react to dangers, and make decisions that affect who lives and who dies. Every moment feels risky, and your actions directly impact the story. The Quarry stands out for its branching narrative and immersive horror. Its combination of player-driven choices, constant danger, and gripping storytelling makes it a game that keeps you engaged and nervous from start to finish.
What?
Kidnapping, murder, cover-ups. I think the whole Hackett family is in on it.
You have no idea what's going on here. Not a goddamn clue. All right, let's do this.
Who should I call?
911.
You mean 911? Who says 911?
Goodbye, cruel world.
We gotta get out. I'm gonna enjoy watching you die.
This isn't a ghost story. It's a creature feature. It's really happening and you're all in it.
This is gonna get a little messy.
Visage drops you into a creepy old house where everything feels tense and scary. You wander through dark rooms and hallways, slowly uncovering the house's dark history and the tragedies that happen there. Every shadow and sound keeps you on edge. Gameplay emphasizes careful observation, puzzle solving, and managing fear. You interact with objects, search for clues, and try to maintain your sanity while the house plays tricks on you. Small choices can change what happens, making every step feel important. Visage stands out for its atmosphere and slow-building tension. It doesn't rely on cheap jump scares. Instead, it creeps into your mind, leaving a lasting sense of dread. The combination of story, design, and scares makes it a truly haunting experience. Silent Hill 2 Remake puts you in the shoes of James Sunderland, who returns to the eerie town of Silent Hill after receiving a mysterious letter from his deceased wife. The town is shrouded in fog and filled with unsettling sights, making every step feel tense and unpredictable. Gameplay emphasizes careful exploration, puzzle solving, and strategic combat. Resources are limited, and enemies are dangerous, so you have to think before you act. Stealth and observation are just as important as fighting, making every encounter meaningful. Silent Hill 2 Remake stands out because of its atmosphere and storytelling. It balances tension, mystery, and emotional depth, creating a horror experience that's immersive and memorable long after the game ends.
Stay with me. Don't leave me alone again. You're supposed to take care of me.
I know what you are. I know why I needed you. But it's all over now. I don't need you anymore.